on CBS.
A new Equalizer. New episode Sunday on CBS.
Check your cameras. Trust only the best. Protect your family, home, or business with 24/7 armed response.
Perimeter secure.
Remember, AmeriGuards it.
Lithia Subaru of Fresno proudly sponsors tonight's first segment of Eyewitness News. Lithia Subaru of Fresno. Subaru confidence in motion. This is Murrow and Emmy Award-winning CBS 47 Eyewitness News at 11.
New at 11, a woman and her dog were killed in a crash tonight in Madera County. The crash happened just after 6:30. Highway Patrol says a woman driving a Mini Cooper was on Road 208 and approaching a stop sign at Highway 41. And for some reason, investigators say she drove into the path of a Toyota Tacoma truck, which did not have a stop sign. The woman in the Mini Cooper was killed in the collision along with her dog. A man in the car was seriously injured, and the two men in the truck were also hurt in this crash. In the North Valley, the brother of the suspect accused of kidnapping and killing a Merced family of 4 pleads not guilty in court today. CBS 47's Catherine Phillips has a look at the charge that he is facing and the response from the victim's family.
Just killing again. It's going through our hearts like somebody's stabbing us again.
15 days ago, the bodies of 27-year-old Jasleen Carr, 36-year-old Jasdeep Singh, 39-year-old Amadeep Singh, and 8-month-old Aruhi Derhi were found dead in an orchard in a rural part of Merced County. For family member Sukhdeep Singh, seeing Alberto Salgado in person brings him back to 2 weeks ago when he found out his family had been killed.
The family's already going through the trauma, and seeing him in person is like we cannot imagine and we cannot describe.
The Merced County Sheriff Vern Warnke says 48-year-old Jesus Salgado was responsible for the kidnapping and murders of all 4 family members. He says his brother, 41-year-old Alberto Salgado, helped. Surveillance footage released by the sheriff's office shows Jesus Salgado leading the family out of their business while they were zip-tied, and Jesus Salgado is seen with a gun. On Thursday, Alberto Salgado made his first court appearance and pled not guilty to criminal conspiracy, accessory, and destroying evidence. Last week, Jesus Salgado pled not guilty to 4 counts of murder after his initial arraignment got delayed to give him time to find a lawyer. Singh says he's still learning to live without his family after they were taken from him. He says now he's finding ways to cope.
The loss we have it our whole life is going to be always there. They've been in our lives, they've been in our hearts, but we have to move forward for the rest of the family.
Catherine Phillips, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
New here at 11, a 26-year-old man is facing felony child molestation charges. Parlier police arrested Jose Flores on Friday. Investigators say in 2015, Flores molested 2 children under the age of 14. Detectives are unsure if there are other possible victims. After much debate, the Fresno City Council approves funding for Advance Peace. The program focuses on preventing gang members from committing violent crimes. Advance Peace will receive $375,000 for the first year, which is about 1/3 of the federal funds allocated to these community groups as part of the mayor's Violence Intervention and Prevention program. The organization was criticized after a program staffer was charged with conspiracy to commit murder. Mayor Jerry Dyer dropped $1 million of funding from his proposed budget to the program in August. After debating the organization's value to the community, city council members voiced their support.
I'm happy to support this today as well as the others and make a motion for approval.
I think you folks have a proven track record, and I'll be more than proud to support this item today.
A UC Berkeley study shows in 2021, Advance Peace of Fresno reduced gun violence and prevented at least 60 shootings and had nearly 4,000 total engagements with the public. Well, today you may have noticed a number of people wearing purple. For some, it's in honor of Domestic Violence Awareness Day. In Reedley, a prayer vigil was held to mark this day and to highlight the impact domestic violence has on our society. The Marjorie Mason Center co-hosted the event. Several faith leaders took time to pray for survivors, those who have lost their lives, and anyone who has felt the pain of domestic violence. Organizers say it's a whole community effort to bring much needed change.
Really, as a police chief who's committed to assisting survivors, the faith community has expressed it today. They shut down their whole street, which is rare. Their school districts are supportive in doing teen dating violence prevention in the schools. But to just say, like, there's something every single one of us can do to ensure that we have healthier homes.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and Purple Thursday has been observed in October since 2010. A program to certify medical students as Narcan nasal spray trainers is happening now in Clovis. Narcan, as you know, is a drug used to rapidly reverse an opioid overdose. 80 students at the California Health Sciences University took part in the first training session. The goal is to have more certified trainers to expand access to the life-saving drug.
I really think of Narcan as the best antidote that we have to really making sure that fentanyl does not claim lives. We know that it works really well in the emergency department. We've had the experience of having it work really well with our ambulance services, but we're at a point where we really need people to have it in their own homes and wherever people might be overdosing.
There are plans for the medical students to distribute Narcan and train people to properly use it at health fairs and in schools.
Hello everyone, I'm Liv Johnson. Lauren Wallace has the night off. Now, we did have some hot temperatures today, but looking at our current temperatures, we've cooled down quite a bit. 70 degrees today. Right now in Fresno. We've reached the 60s in Visalia and Porterville. We're at 64, 61 in Hanford, 65 in Lemoore, and then we have 59 up in Mariposa. Now, lows tonight are pretty much going to be about the same. We're seeing 60, we're seeing mid-50s, 57 in Mariposa. Our highs tomorrow are going to look a lot like our highs today, just a couple degrees cooler. We are getting out of the 90s for sure, and I think that's the last we will see of that. We are going to have some cooler weather this weekend, and I'll have more on that later in the show.
All right, Liv, thank you so much for the news from around the state. Landscapers in San Mateo County found a car buried in a backyard. It's a possible crime scene at a multi-million-dollar property in Atherton. Police believe the car has been in the ground since the 1990s and belonged to a previous owner of the home. Investigators say the current owner of the property had no idea that that car was even there. LA City Councilman Kevin De Leon says that he is staying put despite growing pressure tonight for him to leave office. It comes in the wake of the leaked racist recording scandal. Council President Nury Martinez has resigned, and there are calls for both De Leon and Councilman Gil Cedillo to resign. The new LA Council President is also calling for both of their resignations.
Whether they think it's fair or not is not relevant. We are where we are right now, and this city needs to move forward. And the only way this city can move forward, the only way this city can heal, is for me to have those resignations in hand today.
The council has already stripped De Leon of much of his power in an effort to pressure him to resign, but it has no authority to expel members. A Clovis dad continues the tradition of decorating his home for Halloween, but this Halloween, there's a very special reason behind all of his hard work. He is honoring his son who died just a few months ago. CBS 47's Brett Rodriguez with the story tonight.
During the day, you can find Michael Gallegos hard at work setting up new decorations in his front yard.
The next door out.
Decorations ever!
Thank you!
Michael often hears compliments as people pass by. The dad of two has been decorating his home for Halloween for more than 30 years. He builds most of his decorations and sets by hand.
I've always done it year after year after year, but this year is a special year. I lost my son in the middle of July.
He lost his 31-year-old son, Scott, to cirrhosis of the liver. He tells us Scott battled an addiction with alcohol for many years. In July, Michael was the one who gave the order to doctors to take his son off life support.
I had to tell them to unhook him because he wasn't going to make it. It's like, why keep him here?
Michael is now on a mission to make this Halloween display extra special.
I want to go big this year. I want to be seen. I want him to see it from heaven. I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
At night, under the stars, Michael's yard comes to life. Wood cutout characters light up the graveyard and pumpkin patch. There are more than a dozen skeletons. One stands more than 12 feet tall. But his most meaningful display is a tombstone that he built for his son. He plans on making each Halloween display even larger than the previous, all while raising awareness for those who struggle with alcohol addiction. In Clovis, Rhett Rodriguez, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
In other news here tonight, the High Speed Rail Authority awards a $35 million design contract for the Valley train stations. Take a look at this. This is beautiful. It's the concept art for the Fresno station, which will include canopy arches that you can see there, as well as bike access. And this is a look at the Merced station. The Rail Authority awarded the design contract to the group Foster and Partners, along with Arup, which does engineering design. And we have a look at the concept too for Kings Tulare station. That's this image. They say that the design phase for the stations will take more than 2 years, possibly even 3. Today, the top floor of the new parking structure at Fresno Yosemite International Airport was full of job seekers. This is the airport's first aviation job fair with positions for pilots, custodians, and security.
We have airlines, we have military, we have our federal partners, the Transportation Security Administration.
If you missed today's job fair, don't worry. A list of employers will be put up on the airport's website here in the coming days. We have continuing coverage for you here tonight. In case you have not heard, the Powerball jackpot is still up for grabs. It has grown to $550 million after no one matched the 6 numbers yesterday. The next drawing comes on Saturday. The cash value is expected to be more than $277 million. And coming up here on Eyewitness News at 11, he was accused of inappropriate sexual advances. Now actor Kevin Spacey is cleared by a New York jury. Plus, the Alec Baldwin movie Rust is packing up its production and headed farther west following the on-set death of its cinematographer. And an actor breaking new ground for the transgender community speaks in Fresno. We'll see you back in about 1 minute.
All around us, events unfolding. Start your day with breaking news from the break of dawn to prepare you for the day ahead with Anthony Bailey, Megan Ruth, here when you need them. Investigative journalism, up-to-date pinpoint weather, on air and online. The Valley's only AM team on Eyewitness News this morning. Weekdays from 5 to 7 on CBS 47.
The 2022 Subaru Crosstrek is as powerful as your sense of adventure. Its 182 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine makes exploring fun. Sure-footed symmetrical all-wheel drive is standard. And the Crosstrek has the best resale value in its class for 2 years running. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Get to Subaru of Fresno, where every new Subaru comes with complimentary maintenance included.
I'm Anthony, and my kidneys are failing me. Dialysis treatments saved my life. But Prop 29 will shut down dialysis clinics, threatening the lives of 80,000 dialysis patients. Vote no on 29.
Around here, how you treat our families and land matters. But John DeWarty doesn't get that. DeWarty paid penalties for polluting local lands, and court records show DeWarty's business knowingly sold defective trees to our farmers, costing them millions. DeWarty refused to return the farmers' money and failed to pay his company's taxes, but put nearly $500,000 into his campaign. Our families can't trust John DeWarty in Congress. DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Here's why doctors, nurses, and patients
urge you to vote no on Prop 29.
29 would shut down dialysis clinics,
risking my life
and the lives of 80,000 other dialysis patients.
Please
vote no
on 29.
Tonight, please welcome back to The Late Show, Anderson Cooper.
I love how much of a news geek you are.
Tonight on CBS.
Eyewitness News is brought to you in part by Central Floor Supply. CBS 47 Eyewitness News at 11 with Catherine Hurd, Brian Dorman, and Pinpoint Weather with Chief Meteorologist Lauren Wallace on CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Alec Baldwin's Rust is preparing to resume filming, but in a new location. The team behind the Western movie will not return to New Mexico and is instead looking to move production here to California. It's unknown exactly where in the state filming will take place. As you know, production was halted late last year after cinematographer Helena Hutchins was killed in an on-set shooting with a prop gun. Filming is set to pick back up as early as January with all of the original cast. A federal jury in New York sides with actor Kevin Spacey today, finding that he did not inappropriately touch actor Anthony Rapp when he was 14 years old in 1986. Michael George has more on the verdict tonight.
Actor Kevin Spacey left the federal courthouse in New York Thursday following his civil trial victory. After less than an hour and a half of deliberations, the 11-person jury found Spacey not liable under New York's Child Victims Act in a lawsuit brought by actor Anthony Rapp.
We're very grateful to the jury for seeing through these false allegations.
During the 3-week case, Rapp testified in 1986, Spacey, then 26, picked Rapp up and briefly laid on top of him after a party at Spacey's apartment. In sometimes tearful testimony, Spacey told the jury the incident didn't happen, saying he would never have been attracted to someone who was 14. Spacey's lawyer told the jury that Rapp imagined or made up the encounter, accusing him of basing it on an acting role he'd played. The lawsuit sought $40 million in damages.
This happened back in 1986, a long time ago, and it didn't really culminate in anything. It was a brief encounter, and then Mr. Rapp left the apartment. You could see why perhaps the jury found for Kevin Spacey, but that does not mean that other cases aren't meritorious and should not deter people who have been sexually harassed truly from coming forward.
Spacey lost acting opportunities and his job on the Netflix series House of Cards after allegations against the 2-time Oscar winner began to surface 5 years ago. Last summer, Spacey pleaded not guilty to sexual assault charges in Britain. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Fresno City College hosted a groundbreaking actor today as part of its Speakers Forum. Zach Barrett is credited as the first openly transgender actor in a Marvel film. He appeared in Spider-Man: Far From Home. The Chicago native has also appeared on television and performs as a stand-up comedian.
I want us to get to a point where we can have nuanced conversations and don't need to treat the audience like idiots, because I think people are willing to learn more than we give people credit for. But I also think that begins with putting trans people in the writer's room and behind the camera as well as in front of it.
Barrett currently voices the character of Barney in the Netflix animated series Dead End Paranormal Park. They'll be marching in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. A very generous donor comes through for the Clovis North Marching Band. The story right after your Pinpoint weather forecast.
Yes, I'll have a full look at your forecast over the weekend and for next week coming up. But first, a look at your 4-day allergy forecast brought to you by the Boz Allergy Center.
Eyewitness News brings you an Eye on Ag. Join Anthony Bailey for the latest in ag innovations and insight from our prominent local partners. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Eyewitness News. Or watch the stories online now at northcentralvalley.com.
The state average is now $6.29 for a gallon of regular.
California's gas tax, the highest in the nation.
Because Adam Gray increased the gas tax. It goes up every year automatically. Newsom and Gray don't care about your pain at the pump.
Why would we suspend a gas tax?
Gray agreed. Skip the votes to stop it. Now record gas prices and a record gas tax. It's the Sacramento way. It's the Adam Gray way. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Rudy Salas took $80,000 in free gifts and travel from special interests. 4 continents, 5-star hotels, dozens of trips, ranked tops in the assembly one year. So when Salas helped special interests pass a plan that could raise gas prices 70 cents a gallon, it was no surprise. Why care about gas prices if you're not the one paying? And why pay Rudy Salas when he doesn't work for us? Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this ad.
High prices, crime, homelessness. California has problems. We need a problem solver like Mark Pazin, a law enforcement leader respected by Democrats and Republicans. Mark Pazin is a bipartisan problem solver who will cut taxes and lower prices, solve homelessness, and take on crime.
I'm Mark Pazin. I spent my life working to protect California, and I'll clean up Sacramento and make sure it works for you again. I'll get the job done.
I'm Rudy Salas, and I approve this message.
David Valadao and Washington Republicans want a complete government ban on abortions in California. No exceptions for rape victims or medical emergencies. Their big government plan is so extreme, it would put doctors and nurses in jail for providing care to rape victims. We don't want government interference in our personal lives. David Valadao and Washington Republicans just don't get it.
CBS 47 is on your side. Contact us for Eyewitness News Investigates. Now, Now, your CBS 47 pinpoint weather forecast.
We are holding on to summer temperatures here in the Central Valley, but that is coming to an end very soon. Today's high of 90. I mean, we almost beat the record high of 94, but we are going to see that change as we have high pressure move out and low pressure move in this weekend. The high temperatures today, 90 in Fresno, and we weren't alone. It was 90 in Madera. The South Valley had 90s all the way around. It was a high of 87 in Oakhurst, 88 in Mariposa, and a high of 82 in Yosemite. That is so unseasonably warm for this time of year. Now, the highs tomorrow are going to look very similar, just a couple degrees cooler. A high of 88 in Fresno, same with Lemoore, Hanford, and Porterville. 87 in Visalia, 86 in Merced, 80 in Mariposa. A high of 60 in Yosemite, so that is quite a bit of a dip from today at about 20 degrees, and then a high of 66 in Shaver Lake. Looking at our lows tonight, 60 degrees in Fresno, same with Visalia, 55 in Oakhurst, 52 for Shaver Lake, 57 in Mariposa, so mainly the mid to high 50s. And then tomorrow, with those warm temperatures, we are going to see very sunny skies. We have no clouds moving through the Central Valley tomorrow. Looking at our air quality tomorrow, it's going to be moderate in Merced, Madera, Fresno, and Kings County. It is going to be unhealthy for sensitive groups in Tulare and Sequoia. Now let's look at your renewable solar forecast. 19,000 megawatt hours of electricity generated today. Tomorrow that will go up to 20, and then we will go back down to 15 on Saturday. Looking at your 7-day forecast, here's where the high pressure is moving out and the low pressure is coming in. You can see it right between Friday and Saturday. We have a high of 88 tomorrow, and then we go to a high of 73, and then a high of 69, 72, 75. So those fall temperatures are moving their way in. We have lows in the 40s and 50s and a lot of sunshine. So Brian, we've been talking about this all day. It's time for fall. We're gonna carve pumpkins. I'm gonna paint pumpkins because I don't trust myself with sharp objects. But if you're into fall things, get ready because she's finally here.
She's finally here. And speaking of she's finally here, do you think how many people are listening to Taylor Swift right now?
I think a lot.
At least 6 people in our newsroom right now.
And it's a little bit chilly outside right now, so it kind of it fits the Taylor Swift mood.
Yes,
it's almost midnight.
It is almost midnight. Yes, it is. All right, listen to this. This is also just as exciting, if not a little bit even more exciting than Taylor Swift. Thanks to a major, huge donation by an anonymous donor, the Clovis North Marching Band, we'll get to take part in this year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The band was invited more than 2 years ago, as you know, but it was postponed. That trip was because of COVID-19. They needed $600,000 for this big trip. When they couldn't raise enough to cover it, a donor called in and said, hey, you know what? I'll pay the rest.
I cried for about a half an hour because there's still good people left in the world, and it's just amazing that someone would be willing to care so much about our kids.
We are so excited for them. 135 students will get to participate in the Thanksgiving Day Parade next month. We will be cheering for them from the Valley. Well, is this the year that Paul George makes it to the NBA Finals? Andrew Martin with the answer coming up next in Sports Central.
And we've been able to deliver for the Valley.
And what did Rudy deliver? 38 votes for tax increases, gas, cattle, and food. That's over $7 billion that would crush families. Meanwhile, Rudy was caught failing to pay his own taxes, thousands of dollars worth. While taxpayers paid Rudy over $1 million, he sticks the Central Valley with higher taxes and fails to pay his own. Rudy Salas is not for us. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Jim Costa, and I approve this message.
Across America, the Supreme Court has taken away women's constitutionally protected right to an abortion. Michael Maher's position?
I am absolutely pro-life.
Maher is supported by extreme groups who want to outlaw abortion, even in cases of rape and incest. Maybe that's why Maher pledged his loyalty to Donald Trump, whose judges overturned Roe v. Wade. Michael Maher, too extreme for us.
Ever wonder why Mark Payson never talks about his record now that he's running for assembly? Maybe because he refused to put sex offenders behind bars where they belong, or the half-dozen prisoner escapes on his watch, or that he abandoned his post as sheriff while murders were skyrocketing to take a cushy Sacramento political gig. Whatever the reason, Mark Payson put us in danger the last time we put him in office. We can't afford to do it again.
I'm Adam Gray. John Duarte sold thousands of defective trees to local farmers. We shouldn't let him get away with it, just like we didn't let Sacramento bureaucrats steal our water.
As Republicans, we worked with Adam Gray to pass the state's largest water bond.
Together, we protected small businesses from scams. Character matters.
And that's why we support Adam Gray for Congress.
I'm Adam Gray, and I approve this message.
Don't let the insurance company push you around. Get a law firm that can push them around. The team at Jacoby & Myers has gotten our clients up to 10 times the insurance company's original offer. Don't settle for less. Choose Jacoby & Myers.
Now YourCentralValley.com pros who know.
By using third-party financing with competitive programs, your new smile can be affordable and easy. Call Better Life today to see if you qualify.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know.
CBS 47 is on your side. Contact us for Eyewitness News Investigates. Now, Sports Central, presented by Toyota.
Paul George began his 13th NBA season tonight, and he did so by announcing earlier today that he has teamed up with BetterHelp, a platform that is giving up to $3 million worth of free therapy to people in need. Paul George himself has dealt with mental health issues. He opened up about that in 2020. Tonight, he and the Clippers open their season against the Lakers, who have already played a game. The ex-Bulldog scored 15 points, and he had 10 rebounds for a double-double. He also had 4 assists. The Clippers win 103-97. They're 1-0. The Lakers 0-2. In Philadelphia tonight, the 76ers hosted Milwaukee. Ex-San Joaquin Memorial standout Brook Lopez scored 17 points for the Bucks. He also had 4 rebounds and 2 blocks. Milwaukee wins the game 90-88. Thursday night high school football lets start in Tulare in the West Yosemite League. Tribe hosting Dinuba. First quarter, Jordan Crisp, QB keeper. He's going to go right up the middle for a touchdown and a 7-0 lead. Later in the quarter, direct snap to Sonny Guess. No guesswork here. He immediately runs to his right, and he's going to get to the front corner of the end zone. Tulare beats the 20th ranked team in the section, according to CalPreps, 21-16, the final score. In Hanford, Tri-County Sequoia League action. Sierra Pacific hosting Exeter, the visiting Monarchs with the ball here. And Jace Evans is somewhere in that pile. And then he's out of it and racing towards the end zone. More Exeter offense. Jacob Molina airs it out to Zach Williams coming up right here. This is a 27-yard touchdown. All Exeter in this one, 36-0, the final score. At McLean Stadium in Fresno, North Yosemite League action. Fresno High hosting Matilda Torres out of Madera. Early in the first quarter, Toros strike first. Joseph Bass up the middle untouched. A 6-yard touchdown run. That makes it 7-0. Warriors now in the red zone looking to tie the game, but the pass on 3rd and 9 tipped and intercepted by Josiah Salinas. Torres improves to 6-3, winning 35-0. Raiders Now brought to you by Toyota. In case you were wondering why the Raiders captains don't have a C on their jerseys, according to head coach Josh McDaniels, it's a thing with us and the league trying to get a color. So there you go. More NFL news today. The San Francisco 49ers have traded for Christian McCaffrey from the Carolina Panthers. They are reportedly giving up 3 draft picks next year and 1 the following year. And in the ALCS, the Astros beat the Yankees 3-2. They lead that series 2-0. Ex-Bulldog Aaron Judge 1 for 4 with a run scored. And that's a look at sports. Brian, back to you.
Andrew, good stuff tonight. Thank you, my friend. We'll still to come here on Eyewitness News at 11. Tacos, nachos, and charges. A new addition coming to certain Taco Bell restaurants in California.
Fall has arrived in California. Let's go! So get pumped, get up, and get out there. Grab the keys to a new Toyota. Take advantage of low 2.49% APR financing on RAV4, Camry, versatile Highlander, and legendary Tacoma while it lasts. Grab the keys, come on, let's go. Toyota, let's Let's go places.
Here's the fact.
More Americans are turning to News Nation.
I see our audience grow.
Thank you for being part of News Nation's largest audience yet. All voices need to be acknowledged, and I think that's where you get trust.
Magnify what matters.
That's what we're here to deliver, without fear or favor.
See why America's fastest growing cable news network is News Nation.
It's going to continue to get dramatically larger. I'm really proud to be a part of it.
News for all America.
Here's why doctors, nurses, and patients
urge you to vote no on Prop 29.
29 would shut down dialysis clinics throughout California that my patients rely on for regular treatment,
risking my patients' lives
and the lives of 80,000 other dialysis patients.
Join the American Nurses Association California
and the California Medical Association.
Stop the dangerous dialysis proposition.
Vote no on 29.
Please vote no.
Let's fill up on the truth. Rudy Salas is the only Democrat who voted against the gas tax increase. Salas voted against increasing the gas tax. That's the truth. Meanwhile, David Valadeo's helping big oil jack up prices at the pump. Just this summer, voting against cracking down on oil company price gouging. And Valadeo's taken over $450,000 from the oil and gas industry. Fed up when you fill up? Thank David Valadeo. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Around here, how you treat our families and land matters. But John DeWarty doesn't get that. DeWarty paid penalties for polluting local lands. And court records show DeWarty's business knowingly sold defective trees to our farmers, costing them millions. DeWarty refused to return the farmers' money and failed to pay his company's taxes, but put nearly $500,000 into his campaign. Our families can't trust John DeWarty in Congress. DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Heating things up on a Friday with a chili festival. Sounds good. Right about now, we'll see you tomorrow morning with more on the Harvest Fest.
I have to remember my bowl and spoon for that one. Temperatures cooling off also. Join us in the morning.
Well, coming up on The Late Show is Stephen Colbert. Tonight's guests are CNN anchor Anderson Cooper and actress Sosie Bacon. Well, over the next year, Taco Bell customers in California will soon be able to catch a charge and a chalupa at the same time. Yeah, what a time to be alive, huh? Electric vehicle charging stations are coming to more than 100 Taco Bell locations across the state. The stations are solar powered to help the restaurant offset the energy costs. The South San Francisco location became the first to unveil one of the new charging stations earlier this week. There's no word yet on locations right here in the Valley. Boy, times have changed in fast food, haven't they?
I bet so many people have been waiting for the day that a Taco Bell would also have an electric vehicle charger.
I'm excited. I don't even have an electric car.
Yeah, I mean, good for you guys.
Yeah. How about this? Let's see. No midnight rainforest or snow on the beach. Maybe a little bit of a lavender haze.
I hope the people watching know what you're talking about.
You know.
If not, you know, get on the music scene. We have a Taylor Swift album to listen to. And we have perfect fall weather this weekend to listen to it with. We have highs in the 70s on our way and lows in the 50s and 40s. And lots of sunshine. So lots of good things coming our way.
Yes, all the good things. All right, well, that will do it for this edition of Eyewitness News at 11 o'clock. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is next. Sleep well, good night, enjoy Taylor Swift's album. We'll see you tomorrow.
CBS 47 Eyewitness News is on air, online, and on the go. Take Eyewitness News with you and share your stories with us on Facebook, Twitter, and on yourcentralvalley.com.
For Rudy Salas, it's a charmed life. Paid the highest legislative salary in the nation, even as Californians pay the highest gas prices. Given over $80,000 in free gifts and trips. Some were financed by groups pushing a bill that could raise gas prices 73 cents a gallon higher. Salas backed their bill, selling you out. They paid his way, we paid the price. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this ad.
Prop 26 is sponsored by 5 wealthy tribal casinos that made big profits staying open during COVID
while their card club competition had to close. Now they want to expand their monopoly on gambling to include sports betting and put their competition out of business. Prop 26 would change state law, allowing wealthy tribal casinos to bankrupt their competition with frivolous lawsuits. Vote no on Prop 26.
In the Valley, we work for everything we have. But not David Shepard. He wants to be the Valley's state senator, even though he only moved here during the pandemic. Shepard came from his family's beachfront property in Orange County after he got sued for physically threatening other tenants and throwing drunken parties that hurt local businesses. Shepard's not a farmer. He's a fraud. He'll never work for the Valley in the state Senate.
Need help? CBS 47 is on your side. Contact us.
Overall, Forbes says the 400 richest Americans lost $500 billion over the last year. It's the first drop for the super rich since the Great Recession. Mark Zuckerberg, meantime, lost more than half of his fortune, over $75 billion. He fell from third richest American all the way down to number 11.
Hi, I'm Sarah McLaughlin. Will you be an angel for a helpless billionaire? Without your help, billionaires won't be able to afford the smaller yacht that nests inside their larger yacht. But for just $5 a day, you can help keep this aging nerd jacked. Right now, there's a billionaire that needs you. So call the number on your screen and keep the penis rockets soaring.
It's The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Tonight, the Book of Moron. Plus, Stephen welcomes Anderson Cooper and Sosie Bacon. Featuring Louis Cato and the Late Show Band. And now, live on tape from the Ed Sullivan Theater in New York City, it's Stephen Colbert.
Thank you for being here. Thank you. Hello, 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 hello. Happy Wednesday. Lovely, lovely. Hey! Thank you, Joseph. Oh, my friends and neighbors, welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. And if you are watching this show from Florida, first of all, I'm glad you've got electricity because this afternoon at 3:05, Hurricane Ian made landfall as an extremely powerful Category 4 with sustained winds of 150 miles per hour and a possible storm surge of 18 feet. We're praying for everyone in the path of this storm and everybody north Georgia, South Carolina, batten down, y'all. It is coming. Stay safe. And I'm being told we have a piece of viral footage. This is reportedly from Fort Myers. It's a shark swimming in a flooded city street. Look at that thing. That is unbelievable. In that, my researchers told me that is probably not real footage. Someone put that online. But I decided to show it to you because it's a shark in a street. And that's